Finally, Real Madrid really is Real Madrid 5-2. Oh my God. What does Barcelona have to do to get Julian Alvarez this summer? What does Barcelona have to do to get Julian Alvarez? I cannot believe what a statement win from Atletico Madrid. And one of the first things I want to say, Simeone, preview to this game, he said, we are better than our record. We have played better throughout this in La Liga. We have played better than all the teams. The results are just not there. And boy, did it show tonight. Tonight against Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid was way better than Real Madrid, and the goals just weren't there. Even in that first half, Real Madrid was some way, somehow winning this game, and I'll get into it, but was winning this game 2-1, and the better team was actually Atletico Madrid. I actually texted in the Chaos chat, and I said, how is Real Madrid winning this game 2-1 when it's Atletico Madrid who is actually playing better in this game? This guy, Julian Alvarez, he's the most versatile forward in the world. He's one of the best forwards in the world, especially in form right now. It's crazy. And if Barcelona is serious about building a great team that can beat Real Madrid every year and not just win La Liga, but win in Europe, we need to go all in. We need to go all in for Julian Alvarez. I'm really excited because Real Madrid finally loses a game, and now Barcelona can go capitalize against Real Sociedad, and we can actually go on top of Real Madrid by 1 point. So that would be crazy good for Barca if we can just go beat Real Sociedad. We need to go take care of business tomorrow. But look, Atletico Madrid 5, Real Madrid 2. And this is one of the wildest, most chaotic, most entertaining first half I've ever seen this season. You can take your Premier League and spending all that money. You can take your Liverpools, take your Arsenals, do whatever you want. But I'm taking La Liga over the Prem any day of the week. Look how entertaining the game Rayo Vallecano against Atletico Madrid was. Look at how entertaining this big game is. A lot of big games in the Prem are so disappointing so many times, man. And Atletico came with a plan. Cholo Simeone knew exactly how to hurt Real Madrid, and he won the tactical battle against Xavi Alonso. It was through the air. Crosses after crosses after crosses. I lost count how many they deliver. And they all spell danger for Real Madrid. They were struggling to defend every single one, and Lenormand scores the opener of a header 1-0. Up until that point, Atletico Madrid was clearly the better side, and they were able to capitalize on all these mistakes from Real Madrid on defense. But then you know what? Here comes here comes Real Madrid, right? This is what they do. They're so dangerous. They don't need so many chances. They only need two. Arda Güler links up with Mbappe with a brilliant through pass to Mbappe, who bangs that in, who just, no matter come hell or high water, Mbappe is going to score, okay? Death, taxes, and Mbappe is scoring every game all the way from here to whenever La Liga ends, man. It's just going to be like that. And you know what? To Madrid's credit, they hadn't been playing great. They made some lineup issues, some lineup mistakes, in my opinion. I don't think Bellingham should have started this game. But that's neither here nor there. And Vinicius Jr. delivers a really good cross in the second half. Capitalizing of Lenormand making a mess of a mistake, trying to header the ball backwards, and basically gives the ball. I think it was to Jude, and then Jude gives it to Vinicius Jr. And that was a horrible defensive play by Lenormand. It was a very slow start from Alonso's. I think it's Alonso's worst beginning of any game. It was so chaotic from the very first couple of minutes, and I think their efficiency though what's crazy, because even not playing the best game, even not playing the better day, not having the better days, they were still winning 2-1, because that was actually Arda Güler who capitalized on that mistake, and it was 2-1 by Arda Güler, puts it away beautifully, and then what's his name, Oblak didn't have any chance to stop in that. It was very good finishing by Arda Güler, who I thought it was one of one of the better players in this game for Real Madrid, and this is why I think Xavi Alonso lost the tactical battle because how do you take Arda Güler and not Jude Bellingham? That was a huge mistake in going Real Madrid's way. So still, Atletico kept knocking, and then Koke, who had probably the best game I've ever seen him play. The Koke's game today was out of this world. I'm gonna check the ratings in just a second. I'll show you guys, but I think he had an incredible game. It was a beautiful cross to Sorloth and just buries it 2-2, and that was just the first half, man. It was a literally thriller. I could have made a video just on that first half, and that's just how good it was. And I actually, you know what? In the second half, Julian Alvarez, it was his moment to shine. The game was tied, and then what happens? Early in the second half, it became the Julian Alvarez time show. It was his time to shot. In the 48th minute, another dangerous cross. So, surprise, right? Chaos in the box. Güler tries to clear it up. Gets his leg up way too high. And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's a pen. And lo and behold, the referee called it a pen. Julian Alvarez steps up and called as ice. And that was a 3-2. And before people start saying that this was a robbery, people start saying that this was not a pen, it was 100% a pen. You just have to accept it, okay? It is what it is, man. You can't. That was a 3-2, and I'll show you. Archivo Bar is a source that I really rely on, and they said it was a pen. So the fact that they said it was a pen, I'm taking all the bias. And they said no, a lot of pens for Barca. When it's not a pen, they always say when it's not a pen. So I always trust them. They're very objective. So, but like Julian Alvarez up until this point was not done. In the 63rd minute, it's a free kick, and don't say it lightly. This was a worldy golazo, Leo Messi style. Argentine scoring free kicks up against Real Madrid. Dude. The more the things change, the more they stay the same. It was one of the best free kicks of the season up until this point. Curled it perfectly, dipped it, and smashed it into the back of the net, man. That was a fourth. I was so excited because I knew Real Madrid was gonna have a punch back. If it was 3-2, they were always within reach. This is what they do. But it was bada boom, bada bing, game over, and it was Julian Alvarez calling game. And you know what? That's back-to-back games now where Julian Alvarez has looked absolutely unstoppable. And that's 5 goals in 2 matches. And here's the scary part. He does it all. You know what? Barcelona needs to get him. Real Madrid has Mbappe. They've got Vinicius. They got Bellingham. And, we need to go get somebody who can change the game the way that Julian Alvarez changed the game against Real Madrid. And I know, right? Barcelona, we have Lamine Yamal, we have our diamond with Pedri, with Frankie, whoever wants to rotate at the 10. But I think we definitely need to have somebody like Julian Alvarez as a striker next season. That would be just a cheat code, man. I'm not gonna lie. So. Okay, look, before I go, I want to talk about this lineup because I think Carreras had one of the worst games as a Real Madrid player. I think he struggled against Simeone. I think he was losing all those battles up against him. Not a great score for him. Actually, a 5.3. That was for a left back. That is very, very low. I think Huijsen struggled. Look, Huijsen is a good player. Dean is a good player, but I always think that he's a little overrated sometimes when it comes to defensive assignments, I should say, because he's very good on the ball. He's very good at controlling tempos and build up play. He's insane. Okay, I love it, but defensively, I still need to see him up against better competition. And today he had a very bad game. Militao went out with an injury. That's something to look for because if Real Madrid has somehow they have Dean and Asensio, that's not good for them. I don't think Carvajal had a great game either. Look, Courtois had a 4.5 in this game. I think he made mistakes. I think Courtois, low key though, he had a few saves on Sorloth and that I thought they were very good. So I'm very shocked that they given him a 4.5 here. But look, man, Real Madrid had a horrendous game. Look, even Valverde, who makes a mistake on that fifth goal from Alex Baena connecting with Anthony Griezmann, even the changes worked for Cholo Simeone in this game. Alex Baena comes into the second half, I think capitalizing on Valverde's mistake, gets a through ball. Anthony Griezmann gets in the scoring and in the scoring board, and he finishes it beautifully. That's what he can do still. So Courtois couldn't do anything about that either. So look, Valverde. I think Valverde has been one of the worst players under the new Xavi Alonso tandem, because he has not been able to figure out where his best spots are. He doesn't know how to pick his spots. Most of the time, I've said this, he looks like a shell of himself. Not that he plays bad, but I don't see what his assignments are. I don't see his game. It seems to me that with Ancelotti, he was like world class. And I don't see the world class midfielder that I saw under Ancelotti. So I thought Carvajal was one of the better players, like 8.1, a goal and an assist. And somehow Xavi Alonso takes him out. I think Xavi Alonso gets like a stinker on this one. He was nearly like he was out coached, and getting out coached is a big deal in games. And like I said, Jude Bellingham should never started this game. Vinicius Junior, gets the assist, but that's all he did in this game. That is it. And I mean, to me, it was basically Julian Alvarez taking over. Koki had one of the better games. It just looked to me that all these crosses were making Real Madrid just struggle. And I'm just going to say this. I mean, is Madrid now giving all the teams in the Champions League and in La Liga a blueprint? Did Atletico Madrid just give the blueprint how to beat Real Madrid? Of course, you have to have the size. You have to have somebody can get those headers. But I think that, if you go attack Real Madrid, they can be had. I don't see anything on this team that will scare me, even with injuries, that Barcelona cannot beat Real Madrid. And I mean, it's not that I'm biased or whatever you want to call me. But the truth of the matter is, Real Madrid gets absolutely humiliated in this game. The only thing they have to hang their hat on was just Mbappe, who keeps scoring every single game. And honestly, they don't have that creative midfielder. And I've always said this, and I've said this time and time again. Until Real Madrid has a creative midfielder, somebody who can control the tempo, somebody who can block the other team's game plan, then you're never going to beat the better teams. You're always going to struggle against the better teams until you have that player who can actually create, control the tempo more, and it's not going to be Arda Güler. Arda Güler is more of an attacker, kind of like can play that Dani Olmo role a little bit, kind of like in the final third, but you need somebody to create for him, and I don't think Real Madrid is doing a good job of doing that. So I'm so happy. Finally, Real Madrid drops points now. Let's go take care of business, please. Barcelona, take care of business at Real Sociedad, and guess what? Barcelona goes back to the top, and we finally, for the first time in La Liga, we can say we are at the top of La Liga. Actually, no, I think it would be the second time, because I think the first couple of games we were actually there too. So that doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. Hopefully we'll take care of business, and we'll be the sole number one place at the top of La Liga come the end of tomorrow. So I'm keeping my hopes up that we can just show up and show out against Real Sociedad, take care of business. Let's go!